Hi guys, today I would like to share a comparison video between Royal Enfield Guerilla 450 and Triumph Speed 400, and I am going to share those differences which no YouTuber or bike reviewer has shared so far. First, starting with the Guerilla 450. When I got onto the bike, it didn't feel like a heavy bike, although it weighs about 180 kilos on paper. Moving it around was very easy, and the seats were wide and comfortable. I'm talking about the rider seat. Coming to the pillion seat, it's not so comfortable, but it can be managed. And once I started the bike, I put the bike in power mode and not in the eco mode. And as soon as the bike crosses 2000 or 2500 rpm mark, it boosts head with a strong punch which will wake you up from your deep slumber. And from there the bike is very alive. It makes you very alert because the power delivery is so super duper punchy. It's not at all linear. It's very fun, but it is something which you can't ride all the time. It is fun, but only limited to only whenever you feel like riding it in a sporty way. So you have to keep this point in your mind, that the bike power delivery is super duper punchy and it's not linear, and experienced riders can have fun with it. So you have to learn to control the accelerator with your wrist. Only then you will be able to ride it in city all the time, or else every time you ride it you have to be extra cautious. You tired quickly. This was about the power delivery. Coming to the brakes are very sharp. Even though it has two piston calipers, the brakes are very sharp, give a really good feedback, and even you have to be very cautious when you're applying brakes, because even a small applying of brakes will stop it with a very strong bite. And the suspension. Coming to suspension, many YouTubers and many riders on YouTube have mentioned the suspension to be stiff, but I didn't find it stiff. It was very smooth. Unless until you go on a very big pothole, it is smooth and comfortable. Coming to the instrument console, it is very clear, nice and readable. No complaints on the instrument console. Coming to the power delivery, the way how it feels very nice. It actually feels like a Honda, the way Honda engines deliver power. The bike feels very planted even when you are riding it above 60 kilometers or 70 kilometers. It gives you confidence. Every time you start it from the first gear or second gear, and once the bike moves after 2500 rpm, you'll feel lot of enthusiasm, lot of fun. And if at all you want to ride it in a linear way or in a smooth manner, you can switch it to eco mode. When you switch it to eco mode, the power will not be in a very punchy way. It will be in a linear way. A lot of power will be there compared to a 200cc or a 250cc bike, but it's not like a sudden punch which comes after 2500 rpm. Coming to the flaws which I felt in this bike. So when I was riding this bike in a sporty manner, I tucked down myself, just like how you tuck down when you're riding a sports bike. That position to be not That correct. Because when you tuck down, the handlebar should be low, but here the handlebar is little raised. This raised handlebar is comfortable when you are doing highway tours and doing city rides, but whenever you want to ride it in a sporty manner and in a tucked down position to avoid the wind blast, at that point of time, this handlebar, which is tall, can cause a problem. You're sitting down and the handlebar is above your head, hands placed above your head, catching the handlebar. It's not a comfortable position for this riding position. Sporty acceleration, comfortable stance doesn't seem very well. If Royal Enfield works little bit on stance, the stance is really good, don't get me wrong, but for such a sporty ride, it would have been better if they have given a little shorter handlebar. It would have justified the power delivery Gorilla has to offer. And second con which I felt was the looks itself. It doesn't look as appealing as other Royal Enfield bikes like Classic 350, Interceptor 650, or any other bike for that matter. It looks unfinished, as if some work was left over. The rear seat should have been little longer and wider, providing comfort to the pillion. And the color schemes. Earlier there were 4 to 5 color schemes. Now I got to know there are only 2 color schemes. It's Brava blue and the brown color. That is my review on Royal Enfield Guerilla 450. And coming to Triumph Speed 400. So after riding Guerilla 450, I had visited a Triumph showroom right after that, so that I could not forget the feel of the Guerilla 450. As soon as I got onto the bike, I felt the bike was compact compared to Guerilla 450, but it doesn't mean it is small. It is compact, but it is not small. It is comfortable, and compared to Guerilla 450, the seats of Triumph Speed 400 are little hard and less in width, so I was facing little hardness, stiffness on my bumps when I was riding Triumph Speed 400. And this is Triumph Speed 400 2025 model, where the seat width has been increased by 10%. In spite of increasing the width by 10%, the Speed 400 still lags behind in seat comfort compared to Gorilla 450. Gorilla's seat is little wider and comfortable, but Speed's 400 seat is smooth, so that it helps you when you want to tuck down. Coming to suspension. Suspension is stiffer on Speed 400. You can feel little bumps. It will let you know the little bumps on road, even the speed bumps, whereas Gorilla 450 handles it with it in a smooth manner. Coming to the power delivery of Speed 400. Speed 400's power delivery is linear, but if you want to ride it in a fun way, you can do it like that as well. So if you give the acceleration in a linear manner, the power will it will deliver the power in a linear manner. And if at all you want to ride it in a sporty manner, you can accelerate hard and it gives power in a sporty manner. That's the very big pro, I would say, in Speed 400. You can ride it the way you want. Coming to brakes on Speed 400, Speed 400 has 4 piston calipers sintered brakes on the front and 2 piston calipers sintered brake pads on the rear. In spite of having 4 piston and sintered brakes, Gorilla's brakes felt sharp and correct, because Speed 400's brake, when you apply the brake, you feel the brake all of a sudden Whereas in the Gorilla, the brakes are progressive, so it doesn't panic you that much. Gorilla brakes feel more calm, composed, and progressive. So they, as soon as you apply the brakes, they they deliver that performance in a smooth and progressive manner. Whereas Speed 400, when you apply the brakes deliver the power with a sudden bite. So it will get, you need to get used to that one, that sudden brake, or else if you're someone who is upgrading from a small bike like 100cc or 150cc, you might need to spend some time with Speed 400 to get used to that, or else you might face a accident. Coming to weight on Speed 400, Speed 400 is almost 5 to 10 kgs lighter than Gorilla 450. In spite of that, removing it from the parking lot felt little heavier compared to Speed 450. I'm not saying it's very difficult. It's a manageable weight, but compared to Gorilla 450, Speed 400 felt little heavy when removing from a parking lot. Coming to features, you can know about features in any online bike website. So that is not something which I can discuss it, which I need to discuss it over here, because it is readily available. It is very straightforward. You can see any bike website what are the features which bike has. Coming to verdict, if you're someone who want a 400cc bike with lot of fun, reliability, manageable maintenance costs, go for Gorilla 450. And if you're someone who want a powerful bike but don't ride it in a sporty manner every time you take out the bike, and can bear a little extra on the maintenance, can afford little extra on the maintenance, and want a big brand bike in your garage, go for Speed 400. Hope this comparison video helps you to choose the correct bike.